Hail, illustrious scion of Haggrief. Though you are far from home, I will serve you just as you serve the Witch King. You are in unfamiliar climes. Do not allow your dark ambitions to remain suppressed. There is great wealth to pillage here in the Dragon Isles. The strange beasts that thrive in its jungles have yet to encounter a tyrant such as you, my lord. Beyond these isles, an ancient desert kingdom of the Nehekarans lies across the sea. Your Black Ark stands ready to support any invasions you wish to instigate in these lands. To the north are more lands of the undead. Tread carefully here, my lord, for this is Nagashizar, location of the throne of the supreme sorcerer himself, Nagash. Go now, Darkblade. Bring your tyranny to these lands, and make all bow to your rule, or otherwise crumble before your demonic powers.
Hello, MonstersAbound here. Welcome to Total War Warhammer 2, The Shadow and the Blade, and we are playing as Malice Darkblade in a brand new campaign in the new upcoming DLC. Creative Assembly have given me a key for early access, so just keep that in mind. I've decided to play as Malus Darkblade. It was quite close. I was sort of erring towards playing as Clan Eshin, but that's Ted. Don't worry about Ted. We'll get to Ted in a minute. I'll explain what Ted is. So it was close. I do like the campaign mechanics for Clan Eshin. I will point that out. I do think the campaign mechanics for Clan Eshin really, really good. But I've gone with Malus Darkblade just because it's been a little while since I played Dark Elves. And it kind of feels like a bit of a different campaign for the Dark Elves. You start in a very different location. But before we get into location, before any of that, we're going to first look at Malus Darkblade. Because Malus Darkblade is a fascinating character in Warhammer lore. Mostly because there's more written about him than most Warhammer characters. And this gives a depth that others don't quite have. Let's be honest, Games Workshop is generally really only interested in selling shiny new models to people. So the lore behind most characters is something along the lines of they're fucking brilliant, and if it wasn't for this one reason, they'd be the best character in the setting and they're probably going to rule the world one day. That's generally the background for most characters. Malus, at the very least, has some depth. Admittedly, this depth is mostly about how he dicks people over and either betrays them, kills them, or sometimes both. But he is a Dark Elf, and if nothing else, Dark Elves are evil in only the way Saturday morning cartoon villains are. The problem Dark Elves have is that they live too long. They're aristocracy, and once they've had the fill of the normal pleasures, they go for whatever strikes their fancy. Ask Porky the Pig how he knows David Cameron, and you get the idea. Take, for example, the Dark Lord of the Druchii, Malekith himself, and his relationship with his mother. Upon finding your mother is the leader of a secret sex cult which rolls their eyes at how pedestrian fluffy handcuffs are, there should really be only one of two possible responses. Either a desperate desire for mind bleach, or acceptance of your parents' newfound hobbies, while also harbouring a desperate desire for mind bleach. Malekith chose the third option, which was to shrug and say, when in Rome, at any port in a storm, without first checking the weather forecast. Malus then, to acquire more power in Dark Elf politics, which is a desperate knife fight, often literally at the best of times, decided to go on a little quest. He travelled north to a temple and had some lovely adventures along the way, including meeting a tribe of shades who he triple or quadruple double-crossed, I lost count, and some beastmen who he killed after also betraying them. In this temple, he found a nice new ring, and ever being the Mr. T of the Warhammer universe, he immediately added it to his bling. Anyone who has played a fighting fantasy book, which I've been doing recently, would almost certainly have folded the page over before they made a decision to put the ring on, because you never know what equipping a nondescript item of jewellery is going to do. I recently followed an old man at a market who winked at me around a corner hoping for a good time, but got sacrificed to a voodoo murder god instead. These things happen. Obviously the ring was possessed by a greater demon of Snesh, classic really, called Ted. He was called Ted. Malus, realising his predicament, immediately tried to kill himself before Ted pointed out this might not be such a good idea, and he wanted to kind of be out of the ring anyway, so maybe they could help each other. He gave Malus a shopping list of 5 magical items to collect, so Ted could bugger off and find someone else to squat in. Malus did this, and went on further thrilling adventures, which involved killing his dear old dad, which no doubt made family get-togethers awkward, or it would if Dark Elves ever got together to do anything else except to kill each other. Turns out Ted had double-crossed Malice, who could have guessed it, and it was all a trick to get free but take Malice's soul with him. For some reason. I mean, he could have literally just decided to... He could have literally just left, right? Didn't have to do the whole taking the soul thing as well, but I guess greater demons just can't help being pricks. Malice fought back and managed to destroy Ted's shiny new body, but Ted got away with Malice's soul anyway. Malice was slightly pissed about not having his soul, so wandered the Chaos Wastes in a bad mood, killing anyone who got in his way. Eventually, a Chaos Sorcerer got close enough to tell Malice that he knew where Ted was and would totally show him the way. But rather than just remember where Ted was, the Chaos Sorcerer had tattooed the location on himself, like that guy from Prison Break, because Malice wouldn't kill him, right? So of course Malice killed him and skinned him. I mean, come on, this guy was not a very good Chaos Sorcerer, obviously. Long story short, Malice found Ted, got repossessed when things went a bit tits up. From that point on, Ted would take control whenever Malice lost consciousness, so kind of like sleepwalking, if whenever you sleepwalked you woke up covered in other people's blood. Eventually he returned to Hag Reef, and because Malekith likes a joke as much as the next person, Malice was made the commander of the Witch King's armies. Then during the end times, Malice attempted to kill Malekith, but turns out Malekith was like totally already all over this plan, and they made up, because Malekith was like, sure, you can kill me, or you can come to conquer Ulthuan, and by the way, I'm leaving Nagron to just get fucked by Chaos, so take it or leave it. Then Malice went a bit crazy on the Ted Juju and exploded, and either Marathi convinced Ted to put him back together, or maybe just tongue-kissed Ted, I can't quite remember, it's the end times, who gives a shit, right? Okay, so let's start by looking at some of the unique mechanics that Malice has available to him. So, he is possessed by Ted, who is, of course, a demon, who is not necessarily particularly friendly, but does like killing people. So that's fun. So basically, over time, Malice will lose grip to keep Ted under control, and it's denoted by this little orb over here. Yeah, okay, Ted. Okay, piss off. So currently we're fully possessed, which means we can use the ability Ted. We get 30% ward save from Malice, which is pretty huge actually. 30% save without then any additional ward save modifiers. That can make Malice quite brutal. However, we are going to lose loyalty for our lords potentially, and also our casualty replenishment rate is reduced by 50%, which is pretty massive. However, on the other side of things, we get full control, where we gain loyalty, construction costs are reduced, public order is increased, we also get a new right, but we lose 10 melee attack, which again is quite large. And then generally the sort of like effects sort of increase or decrease all the way around. Now, we will slowly become possessed anyway. Currently we're fully possessed. We're going to not worry about that too much at the moment because we've got a very, very tough battle coming up. So we're going to get rid of these guys for the moment. That's fine. And we've got the chapter objective, which we won't worry about. Okay, so we start down in this little corner down here, which is a new area for the Mortal Empire's map. So we've kind of got this little area over here, which has been added. So this is the coastline. Kalida's here. Last Defenders down there. We've got, I think around here, there's Mount Gumbaz here, Kazakarak is over there. This sort of area, it's got about, I would say, 5 to 6 provinces in it, including an interesting one down here, because Nagazishar is actually down here. It's quite a bugger to get to. You kind of have to travel around like this, unless you have to get underway across or anything like that. There's a special building there, and there's also Cripple Peak, I think, over here something, or Crooked Mountain or something over here, which has a special building as well, which I've not been able to actually get to yet. So, we start down on the Dragon Isles down here. We start at war with a Lizardman faction. And I don't quite know what they were thinking when they put this army here, but basically it's quite a nasty stack of troops to deal with. Yeah, okay, Malice, you keep that. Now, yeah, we've got Malinur down here, who is cruel. Income from raiding, income from sacking settlements. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Now, he really reminds me, when I first started playing this, I looked at him and went, he looks like someone. I couldn't remember who it was, and it's it's Dominic. Is it McGowan off of Lord of the Rings, off of Lord of the Rings? Yeah, so that's who that is, because he looks like him. I've skills to show. And if you disagree, you're wrong. We've got an organ merchant. Oh, good. I do enjoy playing on an organ. One of the other changes is that our black arts can actually attack settlements now. So what we can do is I can actually engage. We can blockade this. And obviously, we don't want to fight this. You can see this army is fucking ridiculous. I mean, Lizardmen are bad enough to start off, but we've got we got 5 units of Saurus, who are horrible. They've got, what's that, 5 units of Skinks, 2 of which are red-crested. They've got 2 units of Feral Kobolds. They've got a fucking Feral Bastiliodon and Croxagores. I mean, what the shit? Absolutely bonkers. We do start off with some units. So we've got Bloodrack Medusa, we've got Scourge on a Chariot there, we've got Malice himself, and of course we've got Dominic of Lord of the Rings. Let's have a quick look at Malice's sort of special traits. So we get Tyrant of Hagrief, which we get Suitable Climate Jungle, Suitable Climate Mountains. Malice is possessed by Ted. We also get special missions every so often from Ted. Gives us a little whisper. And we get increased income from iron mines, gold mines, and marble quarries. So that's all good. Now we start down here, but actually if we go over here, we can see we've actually also got Hagrief under our control. Now we start off with the Eye of Hagrief, which generates 530 income a turn, plus a lot of iron and marble, and reduces upkeep for units in this province. Now we've got Pardek here. Pardek, or rather I like to call him Pingu. So Pingu is going to defend our city for us. Yeah, exactly. Got a little bit of a robot voice there. Let's get rid of these guys, because who needs them? Who needs them? So we're going to keep that there. I'm thinking maybe get rid of the... because I'm probably not going to build much of an army here. We start with the military alliance with Malekith, because of course we're his, like, you know, commander, basically. We're his army commander, so... he wants to keep us close, just in case. And then Malice has the Scion of Dark Crag, which reduces recruitment cost for Cold Ones, Dread Knights, Gold One Knights, and Cold One Chariot units, and upkeep for the same. And also gives us a chance of intercepting units or armies using Underway, Beast Path, or World Route. So that's all fine. Let's equip our Organ Merchant, because who doesn't love a lovely tune?
Stay in control.
Exactly. So this battle is a bit on the cray-cray side. It's quite a brutal battle, to be honest. I mean, you're outnumbered. Generally, sort of battles that start the campaign should be just sort of a nice ease in, rather than a slap in the nuts, because that's basically what this is. We are going to fight it, even though I honestly suspect that auto-resolving it is probably the better option. But we're going to fight it because it's, you know, it's the first battle of the campaign, despite the fact it's an absolute bastard. And it's got that new campaign smell, even if it smells a little bit off.
For the hag.
I do like these Scourge Runner chariots. I don't know why. They just feel good. They just feel good. So we're going to start by plinking away at the Croxagores, because they look very fetching in their pink, don't they? Look at this. Absolutely stunning. Not afraid to wear pink either. Very, very, you know, it does my heart proud. And in fact, these guys look pretty awesome. I would actually really like to pay pink Saurus. Look at these guys. They're awesome. Pink Skinks and the fucking Bastiliodon, because sure, why not? I feel like this battle would be fine if it wasn't for the Croxagores and Bastiliodon. Like, I feel like that would maybe like remove the Bastiliodon. I think that'd be probably fine, right? But those units on top of everything else is a bit insane. So we've set up in these ruins over here because that's going to give us some sort of like anchor for our lives. Basically, the main problem is I don't want the Lizardmen sort of flanking around us, which they can do because they've got a lot more infantry than we do. Plus, their infantry is better. So Chariots continuing to plink away, doing a little bit damage there, taking down the Croxagores a little bit. That's pretty good. Okay, and come the Skink cohorts there. There's the Saurus. We're going to be hitting these guys with the Medusa. Now, I don't use the Medusa very well in this battle. The problem is, when the Medusa gets into combat, like someone touches her, she just goes a bit fucking batshit insane and sort of launches herself like deep into the enemy lines, to the point where you turn your back for a second and she's like, you know, the other side of the fucking campaign map. You're like, how the shit did you get over there? She just goes a little bit mad. So it's good to keep her out of combat. At the same time, she doesn't have like a massive range, so you kind of need to keep her close. Basically, you just need to keep an eye on her. She's a slippery, sly one. She's a sexy snake, after all. The Croxagores taking some fire from the Scourge Runner chariots. Taking, look at that, almost down to half health. Good shooting. That's what I like to see. Scourge Runners also good when they're charging, so it's all good. Archers opening, or crossbows I say, opening fire. You can see they are focusing their attacks mostly on Malice, which is fine. Are you going to get some shots in, Medusa? Go on, shoot. No, I think the arc's not very good for her. Okay, Malice is now in combat. We are and Dominic's getting stuck in as well. Good job. Malice is going to go batshit insane. He's going to go a bit cray-cray. That's all good. The Scourge on a chariot is kind of fleeing off in the distance there, but coming back for a good old charge against these Saurus. The Saurus brace, not good enough, boys. Laters. Just charge straight through, and they're gone. They're off. Good job. Okay, Malice is draining the health of all the units around him. It's one of his abilities. You can see the Medusa has got into combat somehow, and she's going to be absolutely... And with like bombardment from the Black Ark, some support there, that's pretty good. We've got some Dread Bleak Swords over here, engaging some Saurus Warriors, 3 of the units. We've got the Cold One Knights over on our right flank. On the left flank, we're fending off the Feral Cold Ones, who should be able to be dealt with by the Black Ark Corsairs fairly easily. Most of these units now running away. The Scourge on a chariot is coming back into the fight to get some good charges on the rear. We can see we've already managed to do quite a lot of damage to the Lizardmen. A lot of those units running away. Their leader, though, is still in the midst of our lines, jumping around and being basically a massive pain in the arse. Dominic is moving to intercept him, but Malice is still kind of busy. The Medusa, again, what were you doing over there? Unfortunately, she's got quite high mass, so she can just like barrel her way to safety again, but still. I mean, she did manage to get 9 kills, which isn't too bad, but then she's just going to end up in combat again, I think. Nope, she gets a nice point-blank range shot off. Nice. Cold One Knights are in combat and doing some damage, up to 17 kills there in the rear of the Saurus Warriors, doing some good damage. Victory is in our grasp, and Murderous Prowess has popped. More support from the Black Ark coming in now, taking out those big blobs of Saurus Warriors. Good shooting, Tex. There's that skink commander still causing us a lot of pain. Come on, Dominic, get in here. Stop being a prima donna. That's it. Stop the fucking chief. Kill him. Kill the chief. Where's Malice gone? Malice? Oh, there you are. That's it. Mince him. Come on. 61 kills on Malice. 63, 65, 66. He does kill a lot of people with his like drain health ability. That's very, very strong. Plus, of course, it drains their health and gives it to him, which is useful because he takes a lot of damage. Fortunately, it looks like most of the enemy units are now fleeing off into the distance, and it looks like we're close to a victory. The Cold One Knights taking a little bit of damage. They managed to get 33 kills. Cold One Knights, one of those units which isn't... It feels like it should be a lot more effective than it is. And I don't quite understand why they're not that effective, but they just don't seem to be that good. The Bastiladon running off into distance, taking a last barrage there from the crossbows and going down finally. And we're going to chase down as many of these guys as possible, but not too many, because obviously Malice is still losing health because he's possessed by Ted, and there's no way to turn him back to old Malice. So basically we just have to finish the battle before he explodes. Yeah, I know, it's aggravating. Tell me about it. So there we go. A nice victory, although quite a close one. Okay, well, that was brutal. Still, we won. That's the main thing. Right, good. Yes, we will loot and occupy.
Pain blesses me.
Get some slaves. Right, now we get this option. So, hostile takeover. The wealthiest Dreadlord of Hagrief sends you the largest sum to bribe you to giving up your Drakashu position. That's the sort of like Malekith's commander. The money would certainly be useful and boost your treasury considerably, as it is currently empty. Or once the mission, blah blah blah. Basically, will we give up it? Will we give up the city or not? Now, the problem is 20,000. It sounds like a lot, isn't?
The weak are crushed.
And the growth bonus is only for 5 turns. So it's not really worth it. Because if we maintain control, we get +5 public order for 10 turns. And we also get Hagrief, which, as we've seen, has got the mine in it, which is already giving us 540 income a turn. So effectively in 40 turns, we will have got that, and then we'll be making profit. And of course we can upgrade it as well. That doesn't include either the trade goods that we're currently selling. So personally, I don't really see the point in this. I just go exile this filth and keep the city. Now, we might lose it later on, But, you know, we'll worry about that later. Okay, so to start off with, obviously we see that Malekith is not replenishing. None of his armies are because, well, because he's fully possessed. So that's fun. But what we can do is we can drink this elixir. So it costs 625, and each time you drink it, it increases by 100. So it's currently quite cheap, but it will get more expensive, and that will reduce our possession to 0, which just means that, well, currently nothing. Basically, we get no bonus, no benefits. We could always get it again, and we could go to full control. However, I don't really think that's the...
Everywhere ruin.
Would that work for repair as well? Does construction also count as repair? I don't actually know. So, you know what? I'm not going to do it. So we're just going to repair these bits because we've got more settlements to take, and frankly, having Malice go apeshit is actually really useful. So Malice he's got this legendary item called the Warp Sword of Cain, which basically means he can, if he's in melee combat, he will replenish his health, which is incredibly useful considering obviously he loses his health over time. Get Beast Tamer, so that's more charge bonus for your monsters. What else do we get? I think all these are fairly similar. You do get new skill lines here. So we get the Waking or the Slumber. So these are mutually exclusive. So the Waking is bonuses to Malice, whereas the Slumber is bonuses to Ted. So some of these effects are like cooldown reduction for Reaper Souls and Bloodstorm. That's quite nice. Causes terror when transformed into Ted. Also reduces enemy leadership. That's quite nice. And casualty replenishment rate plus 30. Now that could potentially mean that with a Death Hag we might actually be able to replenish even if we are fully possessed. However, it would probably only be Malice's army. But theoretically it's possible. We also get 10% ward save as well. So that effectively means when Malice is Ted, he gets 40% ward save without any other bonuses. So pretty strong. We also get Cold Heart, so that gives him more campaign movement range, lower attrition, and vigor loss reduction for your Cold One units. Draku Tyrant, which increases public order in local provinces. Upkeep is reduced, and lords have a chance to gain loyalty if you're in the region, and Contempt and Hatred, which gives plus 20% when fighting against anything and everything. So basically just 20% increase in weapon strength, which is quite nice. However, to start off with, we're going to go Route March because obviously that just gives us a little bit of extra campaign movement range. And Dominic is going to get, you know what, stimulate growth. I don't care how you're doing it, just stimulate it.
There's destruction everywhere.
Yeah, I know, but we're sorting it. So we've got a special building here called the Sea Dragon's Teeth, which is a natural landmark port. So we get some gems, we get income, we get public order and growth from that. So that is quite nice to start off with. So what we're going to do is, I think we're going to get a couple of Black Ark Corsairs here, and then we're just going to stack up on the spears. I'm kind of tempted to upgrade this, because then we could get the dark shots. So let's do that. Let's do that. And over here, I think we're fairly okay. So we're going to knock down that because I don't think we're really going to need it. Yeah, okay. Okay, research to get choose or die because we have no choice. Maybe that's the irony of that choice, eh? Good. Glad you're all with me on that. Oh, I need to do this. Right. Allied factions. Yeah, don't care what your agents are up to. Enemy factions. Do care. And neutral factions. Fastest and don't care. Oh, and me. How grief. Fast and fastest. Now, one of the major things we should point out here is that the turn times, the end times, have been massively increased. As you can see, it's zipping through them, no problem. In fact, we finished. Now I used to cut the end turns out. I won't have to do that anymore. I can just yabber on through them, can't I? Sounds pretty good. That's pretty good. Do we want more money here? More money or public order? currently...
Shut up, demon!
Yeah, shut up. Okay, let's go for torture posts. Essentially, we tie you to this post and then we torture you. It's very literal. I mean, very literal. So let's grab that because that's going to bolster our public order in that region. Generally, I'm not really going to do much in Hagreef. We're just going to kind of leave it to its own devices. Let's get the Raider Lodges.
I grow weary.
We don't have much money and you are a little bit injured. So if we leave the city...
Stay away.
That's not too bad. Okay.
Not of my own volition.
Let's get a move on because the sooner we hit Dread Rock, the better. In fact, we're going to do that and we're going to get a move on. So let's get the Raiders' Lodges because if we can... Now, the only problem is you've got a Black Ark to start off with. Obviously, your Black Ark can't actually get into the ocean proper because it's stuck in this little sort of its own ocean and it can't go around, which is a bit of a problem. However, I think you can. I think you can like disband the army and then disband the Black Ark, and then you can re-recruit it at another port. The problem is we probably won't have a port on the ocean for quite a while, so there's probably no point worrying about that right now. So we'll just build it up because obviously we'll probably want to capture some of this territory, some of this down there. Obviously we don't like desert, which is a bit of a problem. Savannah is okay. There's some wasteland around here. Mountains we like though. Mountains we like, so we probably should go for the mountains. Ideally, which is just as well because there's a lot of mountains between us and the mainland, sort of the Badlands essentially, where we kind of need to go because our victory conditions are to kill the Greenskins, to kill Kazakarak. Well, actually, let's have a quick look. So, we need to complete 3 of the chapter objectives, which shouldn't be difficult. We need to capture 50... I mean, that's not going to be difficult either. So here's the problem. We need to kill Clan Eshin, Black Crag, Karak Azul, and Kazakarak. Now, obviously, you can see that Black Crag and Kazakarak, that is the factions that used to be the Greenskins and the Dwarves. They're no longer the Dwarves, and the Greenskins are now Black Crag and Kazakarak. And we also need to ensure 4 of these are built and also maintain 15 of these particular units, which should not be a problem. So mostly it's just, to be honest, unless they've, and I've not got far enough to check this, unless they've retuned the Dwarves, our main issue is going to be killing the Dwarves, because the Dwarves are a pain in the ass to kill. So that's going to be our main issue. But still, should be fine. Yeah, that's the problem when you eat spicy food. Okay, we're just gonna go straight for it. I think being aggressive is probably the best option before they can start getting an army up, basically. I wanna get in there, capture that before they can do anything. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is cool. These guys now level up. Holy shit. I mean, I guess it makes sense. That's really cool. So I didn't actually know that, but yeah, the Black Arks now level up. Cool. Good to know.
The din of war.
Yeah, din of war. That's the whole thing. So let's lay siege. Now we can see we're already medium possessed, and that's because every turn we actually change. We get 2 possession a turn effectively. If we're in a settlement, we lose it by 1. Or we lose 1, but effectively we're always going to be slowly increasing in possession. So it's not so... I saw a few people on Reddit were like, well, why would you ever want to stick with full control because you get minus melee attack? Well, you're not going to be stuck there for very long. In fact, it's just going to be a turn at most, unless you keep popping those, those potions, because you're slowly going to decrease all the way down to possessed again and then back. And so basically it's just about... It's a seesaw effect rather than I'm going to go full possessed or full... full control. It's not like that. It's very much a constant movement between the two. So in fact, what I would quite like to do is actually just be possessed here, because that would then mean we could launch an attack. Oh, we got a thing. Raise or sack pig barter. There's no finer sensation than to take an innocent life. Imagine then how delectable it would be to fell a city. Bring them doom, O cage of mine. Feed my hunger and let me take control. I guarantee you will enjoy it. Holy shit, that's a lot of slaves and some possession. I mean... I'm willing to be a little bit possessed for some slaves. That many slaves. Holy crap. Holy crap. Okay, this army. What we got?
Bring an inferno!
Okay, that's not too bad.
Rise up, warriors!
That's not too bad. We're not going to be able to... We should be able to take the city, but I probably want to wait until we're fully possessed, and then I can just send Malice up to the wall and watch the resulting mayhem, I think, generally, is probably would be the plan. God, those end times are so fast now. I don't know if they stay fast, but
no retreat.
as far as I've got into the campaign, it's stayed very, very quick, generally around about the same amount of time. Obviously, as factions get slightly bigger, it does mean that their turn takes more, but obviously then there's less factions to count, so it's generally fairly sort of like fairly even. But you know, huge props to CA for something I didn't think possible. I honestly thought that Warhammer 3 was going to be an absolute slogfest because the end times were going to be an absolute nightmare. But I mean, watching that is so impressive. It's like I'm playing Three Kingdoms, and that is so good to see. So well done there, really, really good. Let us do that.
Malice comes for you.
Okay, we've got research. I like going for growth, so we're going to get founded on tyranny. Starters you mean to go on, your population will never know what they may have been missing. Ah, good stuff. Good stuff, fucking Dark Elves. What a bunch of guys. Let's wait 2 more turns.
Polluting my soul with your words.
Yeah, jerk. Oh, public order. 6 turns. Okay, it's not too bad. Plus, if we get a rebellion, it'll pop up here anyway, so that's fine. So we've got... If we upgrade this, we can get the Sea Dragon's Teeth. That's going to increase our income by 200, so which is going to be quite nice. Also gives us more sacks of gems, which is good. Now, we obviously have the Last Defenders, and we have Khalida on the coast to our west. So we have to keep that in mind, because they could become a threat.
Shall be made extinct. I shall see to it.
Fair enough. Peace treaty? I don't think so. That's not how that's gonna work. Nope, you're gonna die. You're gonna be super dead. Super duper dead. Super duper dead.
It shall be mayhem.
I'm kind of tempted. Yeah, all right. We're going to get the 2 siege towers. Plus, we're going to go fully possessed. We're in no rush really. And plus, if we can take this capital, then.
Do you come to forge peace or make?
Hello, non-aggression. I will take that. In fact, I've been meaning to do some diplomacy with the Dark Elves. I just keep forgetting because I'm more interested in what's going on down here. Now, I mean, theoretically, you could just take the deal and hand over Hagreef, and it would no longer be a problem. But I kind of feel like it's not the best option. I feel like taking the money. If it was more money, I might think about it. But it's not really enough money to warrant the effort. Growth is going to be quite slow, but it's not like a super duper problem, to be honest. I'm not really worried about it. Plus, if we get this, it's upkeep minus 5% for the cold ones, and upkeep is reduced for all units in the local province. So actually, having Pingu here, it's not really a big deal because these guys are pretty dirt cheap anyway. We can get some garrison there as well. We've got Malekith to protect us as well, so that's all fine. We should probably check. Who do you... well, that is a very good question. That is the next good question, boss. Good question. Who are you friends with? Are you friends with anyone? You're at war with them. Can we join your war against Clan Septic?
I suppose.
Thank you. That's so nice of you. Okay, that's gonna cheer him up. Basically, we're just gonna declare war on his enemies, and then hopefully he'll beat them up for us, and we won't have to worry about it. But it will cheer him up the fact that we're sort of like we're interested in. You know, it's not. We're not. You know, I'm sure Malekith has big problems because, you know, he's surrounded by people who basically want to kill him. He's leading an entire group of people who want to kill him. I'm sure it's nice to go, hey, what are you up to, Malekith? He's probably like, well, I'm at war with these rats. And I'm like, do you want me to join in? He's like, oh, well, actually, yes, I would like that. Something that's very, very nice. And I'm like, yes, that's fine. Don't worry, buddy. You know, I'm here to back you up until I can stab you in the back. Oh, Dominic has leveled up. Good to know. Let's go Indomitable Will. Okay.
Slaughter them all!
Right. We're going in. Malice is fully possessed, which means we can send him up to the wall and he can, you know, get up to shenanigans. And we can capture the capital. And then we can finish off capturing the last settlement. Province completes. Then we can move on to beating up someone else. I haven't decided yet, but I'm sure we'll get onto it. That, however, is going to have to wait until next time. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode of the Malus Darkblade Campaign.